Hi guys, it's Kayla Ruffin. I am here for another episode of Her Campus, Her Voice. I'm the social media lead for Her Campus Howard University chapter, and today I am here joined by...
Hello, my name is Danielle Jefferson. I'm a sophomore health science major on the pre-physical therapy track, and I currently serve as the local vice council representative for Precious Pearls Youth Outreach Organization.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michaela Carroll. I am a honors senior psychology major, biology minor, concentrating in pediatric and maternal health from Phoenix, Arizona, and I proudly serve as the community service chair for our organization, Precious Pearls Youth Outreach Organization.
And hey, everyone. My name is Faith Harper. I'm the president of Her Campus.
Okay, period. Welcome, ladies, to our third episode of Her Campus, Her Voice. This episode is called My Girl, My World. And I'm just gonna ask you guys a few questions. We're gonna have a few conversations. It's gonna be great, okay? All right. So let me think. Okay, so what comes to mind when you think of perfection in girlhood?
So I can take this question first. For me personally, the words that come to mind are unrealistic and performative. And I say
Listen.
this as someone who literally labels themselves as a perfectionist like my entire life. It's like no matter what I do, no matter what I achieve, how good it is, it's still not enough. Or I'm like constantly in my head like, okay, yeah, that was good, but I need to do better. Or this could have been better. That wasn't perfect enough. And so I feel like we're kind of putting ourselves into a label in a box that is kind of perceived to anyone's interpretation. Like, who is to say this is perfectionism? Like, what is perfect? You can't really define it. Like, for example, especially in girlhood, I might think a perfect body is hourglass shape. You might think, on the other hand, it's a skinny, petite girl. So it's like, who is to define what perfect is? And so instead of labeling it as searching for perfection, I feel like if you search for perfection, you're never going to be fulfilled in life. Like, there's no fulfillment in that. So I think it's more so like finding your own identity and having your own self-worth and kind of like just thinking into that and reaching for your full potential instead of labeling it as perfectionism, because you can't reach it. Like, it's literally unattainable. What is perfect and what is perfection?
Right.
That's how I see it.
Yes.
Just to add on, I think that it's also really important to just show up authentically and be your genuine self, whether you're engaging with like family members, whether it's in relationships or even with your friends and like really building that sisterhood. I know Precious Pearls really prioritizes our sisterhood, and showing up authentically just allows us to be more fulfilled in our personal lives.
Yes,
100%.
I agree.
Yes. I think, like, honestly, perfection in girlhood, it just shouldn't exist overall.
Exactly.
Like, I
Definitely.
feel like we are the main people who have created whatever, like, perfection is supposed to look like. And I think perfection should be, like, defined by an individual person, not, like, a group of people.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because, like, overall, you're trying to meet the needs and the, like, expectations of someone else you probably don't even know, you know? And, like, you're just, like, breaking yourself down because they're like, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this, I'm not that. It's like, you don't have to be that. Like, you can overall just be yourself. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Girlhood depends on the individual.
Yes.
And that'll like determine who you find as your person and who you relate to and what you actually enjoy in life. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You wanna
Of course, queens. Okay, so why do you think Black girls are often expected to mature faster than others?
Ooh, well, just to start off, I think society plays a huge role in this and the standards that Black women are held to, as well as the lens and perception and way that our young Black girls are perceived. I mean, for both Michaela and I, we both aspire to go into the healthcare fields. And even in the healthcare fields, it's like Black girls' pain is perceived differently, and it's crazy. Not only that, but growing up in New York and being an athlete myself for over a decade, it was crazy just the way that I was even treated in relation to my white counterparts when, we're complaining about, hey, I think there's something wrong with my hamstring. I think there's something wrong with my quad. Whatever it is, it's just we're not always listened to the same way. And because of that, I feel that Black women are treated as well as taught to claim more of that independence and always be okay because of that, to be resilient, to be the strongest person, and to work 4, 5, 6 times harder than their counterparts. And with that, comes that level of maturity. However, I also think that we're not creating the spaces enough for Black women to be able to show the other side and be vulnerable and be young and dumb and make mistakes, which is so important. Like, that's how you learn. That's how you figure out the person that you want to be in the world, truly.
I can piggyback off of that. Like, I think the best way to put it is that there's like this unspoken expectation that Black girls need to have it all together, have it all figured out. And I think that is the key problem. And I think it also roots back to like the household. Like, I feel like sometimes this is that kind of bad to say, but I feel like sometimes it's from the parents or who's above us that's telling us like, you know, you're fine. Keep pushing. Be independent. Do this. Like, it's not okay to be soft as a Black woman. And as she explained it best, especially in like certain roles and positions, whether that be in healthcare. It's like we're unheard. And I think that's just kind of how we've been kind of brought up and institutionalized in a way to just believe that, okay, I'm going to push through. I have to do this all on my own because who else is going to do it for me? I think that's how we see it. And that is honestly a problem. And we need to
We've had to be our
rethink
own
the system.
Yes. Our own biggest supporter.
Exactly.
There's literally no room to be just a Black girl anymore. It's just like you're labeled as a Black female in all these spaces, and like you're immediately, you're immediately a Black woman.
And not only that, but why do I have to be a Black woman?
Okay,
Can I just
exactly.
Be a girl
Why
going up in the world? Like, since when is that crazy?
It starts with over sexualization with our community, and it's crazy because what we've seen in media, like, what have you guys watched when you were a kid? Like,
social media does have a huge influence on it, but I think also most Black women can remember a time in their lives where the world just started perceiving them differently.
Exactly.
Listen.
Like, I remember being 13, walking down the street and suddenly noticing, like, hey, like, what's going on, guys?
No, for real.
What happened? Like,
Exactly.
you know, this wasn't the case 2-3 weeks ago. Why is it just happening now?
Right.
And of course, that evolves as you get older and you have to learn how to figure that out and deal with it unless you have a support system. And even then, you're lucky enough if they can help you out.
Exactly.
But it's something that you truly have to learn.
Yeah. And what you just said about, like, you stepped outside at 13 and we're like, oh my God, it's different. I think as Black women, we have certain curves, certain features that make us develop at an earlier age. And I think that's not talked about enough. And so we kind of already are put into that position where we're being overly sexualized, like you said. And it's like, okay, I have these curves. I might be 12 or 11, but I have hips and a butt. And so now I have men looking at me a certain way. And so I think that's also an issue, too, that needs to definitely be talked about more.
Men who are supposed to know better.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then because of that, you also have teachers and people in like roles of responsibility that are supposed to be looking out for you now, treating you differently too because of how a grown man is looking at you.
Exactly.
It's like, this is ridiculous.
Or like your
peers.
Yes. Or you might have a counterpart that's skinnier than you. Let's say she's Caucasian and she can wear them black leggings, but let you wear them black leggings and it's the exact same leggings to gym class. You got to take it off.
Okay.
Like that's an issue.
Oh my God. I had the exact same experience. So I went to like a white Catholic high school, and I'm like freshman year. I'm in gym class, and I've got on these shorts that are the same shorts that they told us to get for
Exactly.
in class.
Yes.
And I'm being pulled in the principal's office, and he's like, "You can't wear that." And I'm like,
Yes.
"Hey, so but like the other white girl down the hallway can wear the same thing."
Yeah, I've seen that happen so many times. Like going to I will say a Christian white private school.
Yes.
It is certainly like that. And I can see like the racism and just like the segregation between the black girls and what they can wear. And it'll be the exact same skirt, exact same outfit and uniform, but they're the ones getting dress coded. But everybody else can walk around and do whatever they want because of their body that they have no control of.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I remember, like, I once got told, so we weren't allowed to, back to my high school, we weren't allowed to dye our hair, like, any crazy colors.
Yeah.
But I had this one girl at my school who would, like, she had literally, like, the color of the rainbow in her hair. And so one of my advisors, she was black, and she told me that she was like, the reason why you guys can't, you guys as in black women cannot dye your hair certain colors is because we don't want that message to be perceived by the school. Like, we don't want people to see that you guys are unprofessional. You guys aren't worthy of work. You guys aren't this, that, this. And I'm like, oh, but like, that doesn't make sense because you're excluding me from like literally like all my other capabilities as being like a teenager.
Exactly.
Like you're just expressing yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
What's wrong with
that?
Yes,
They do not like black girls to express themselves and to find their own identity. Like that is the problem.
They didn't. Yeah. Okay, how do you feel like schools can help redefine confidence in youth based on like our conversation thus far? Or just like overall, like how do y'all feel as though schools can have a better impact on people's confidence?
Well, I will say that I think it starts with each individual's home life. So first of all, it's not just schools, but it's also parents and what parents are teaching their children. But then outside of that, and this is coming from someone who I had a little bit of a rough upbringing in my schools. And I will say that a lot of what I experienced could have been prevented by teacher interjection, just people picking up on things, as well as teaching our young girls like what is okay, what is tolerant, what is normal, what is just unkind. Because at least like for me, when I was growing up, the times that I was like being bullied, being picked on, and having all these things happening to me, I did not know that it was like, oh yeah, like she hates me or like this is bullying. I was like, no, like it just, like it was better this time. Like
just like go with it and accept
exactly.
it.
When a lot of times it's ridiculous. And it wasn't until 5th grade when I really realized the like real issues. And I mean, this is coming from someone who at least it helped me a lot too in middle school, because middle school is when I started experiencing more like of the microaggressions and of like the slightly racist undertones. I can't tell you how many times in 5th grade a kid hit me over the head with a chair.
Oh my goodness. Wait.
In 6th, no, literally.
I have never.
In 6th grade, a girl took my crochet braid in gym class and like tied it to her hair. Like, I think my braid fell out or something, but she took it and tied it to her hair and wore it for like 3 hours.
That's another version of a scalping.
And mind you, there's like, this is like, I'm one of like 2 Black girls in the entire grade.
That's insane.
And no, like, that's what I'm saying, where it's like, this is ridiculous.
No, because
like,
where does that idea come from?
Exactly.
Like, why are we doing that?
Where were the adults?
Where
were the adults?
Oh
So things like that would happen to me. I've had teachers, say my grade, where's those 2 dark-skinned girls? Where are those 2 little Black girls? Like, to the entire class, too. It's like, you can't do that. You cannot say that. That's not an identifier. I have a name.
Okay.
And if you don't know my name, say, hey, class, is any of our friends missing?
Okay.
Like, where did the professionalism come through? So I think it also comes in with training your teachers and your staff and your personnel.
I was going to say
culturally
that.
competent.
Exactly.
Culturally competent. And, like, to this day, I have so much, I'd say, trauma and just things regarding my hair because of my experiences growing up in school. So
to add off of what my sister said, I was just going to touch in that, like being culturally competent and having that cultural training and teachings within the teachers. It starts with the teachers. It starts in a home, like you said. But I think that also goes, I'm switching into my little pre-med realm. But, like being cultural competent as a physician or whatever career that you're going into, they're trying to instill that in those trainings. And I feel like that also needs to be rooted in these educational systems. Like teachers need to learn that. And I think my school, on the flip side, did a positive, it was a good, I had a positive experience. Like I said, it was a white Christian institution, but it was diverse. And I feel like all the teachers understood the Black girls and the girls who were different, and they made sure no one felt different or excluded. Like, I never had a situation like you said, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. But I think, as you said, it really starts. That was insane. It really starts in like the teachings and the foundation of the system of the school. Like, what are you rooted in? What are your foundations? What do you allow? What are you not going to allow? And I think it really starts there. But more so, because I feel like with the question, it was more so what, like, can young Black girls do to be represented more
what can schools
It was teacher.
do?
Yes.
I don't
teachers
think
do?
we got one of these questions, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. But more so what can the teachers do? I think that's what they should focus on. But I also think it is rooted in the home, like you said, like understanding what is okay and what is not okay. Like as a Black girl, my mom definitely instilled that in me. Like, know what's okay, what's a slur, what's you're not going to accept. And if there was a situation, oh my gosh, I remember the situation back in middle school. We had one situation, was it lunch? Yeah, it was lunch. And it was kind of divided, like the Black girls, our little group would sit at one table, and of course you had like everyone else in their own little system. But they would always discriminate our table being like, you guys are too loud, you guys are doing too much, da-da-da. But one thing about me and my group, we knew what was okay and what was considered, like, you're being rude to us, like you're trying to discriminate against us. So we took it up to the principal at the time, and she nipped it in the bud because there was one racist teacher. He got fired. So I feel like it's more so like also knowing, even though we're younger, even though we might feel like we don't have the authority, you have the authority to stand up for yourself and fix the system too. And I think that's also important as a Black girl, like knowing no matter how old you are, no matter how old the person above you is that's treating you wrong, you can stand up for yourself. And I think that's crucial.
Very true.
Yeah.
That's good. Love that.
This next question it's personal because I was exposed to social media early on, even though my parents said no.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you know, as kids, you're gonna want to sneak a peek.
Yeah.
So how can young girls curate their online spaces to protect their peace and self-esteem?
Do you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. I like
She
this
was
question.
ready.
I like this question. I feel like, because I've always been a social media girly. So, like, I feel like for our generation, our generation was a good time on social media. Like, it wasn't too much, but I feel like now this new generation, kids at like 10 are on TikTok, on Instagram, having Instagram accounts. And what a lot of these girls, young girls, Black or whatever ethnicity you are, what they're seeing are these portrayals of women who have the perfect body, the perfect skin, the perfect whatever it may be. But I feel like we have to realize that the standard on social media is unrealistic and fake. A lot of the time, these women have BBLs or they have some type of work done. Either their face is caked up. It's always something. And I'm like, these young girls are setting that as their standard. Their standard is unrealistic and fake. And so what is considered normal or deemed normal is like what they're kind of ashamed of or they're not okay with. And I'm like, you're healthy. You're normal.
Yeah.
Like, you're real. You're a real person. And so I think curating their platform would be, first off, not having social media at too young of an age to where you don't even know your own identity or your own self. So that's one thing, starting with that. And then I also feel like kind of like just going through your social media and going through a cleanse. Like, do not follow people that make you compare yourself to them, that make you feel insecure. You need to be mindful of what you're feeding into your spirit. Because I feel like what you're watching should be motivational or helping you in some way. So I think having a platform that's helping you develop your, whatever it is, developing a skill or your self-esteem, it shouldn't be the other way around where you're comparing yourself, like I said before, or anything of that sort. So I think just like going through, unfollowing those people that are negative, bringing negative energy. Like, you shouldn't just be on social media going to the shade room.
Okay.
Like, that should not be your foundation. Like, for me personally, I'm following the girls that have like routines of their productive days in the life or things that are like actually helpful for me, or following, for example, I want to go into the medical field. So following women that show their experience in medical field, like the day in the life as a Black student in medical school. I don't know, something like that. I feel like that's helpful and crucial for young girls. Like, having a space that's positive and blocking out all the negativity and all that extra stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add. You did a good job.
Thanks.
She sewed it up.
I don't know. I feel like I got the when I was growing up on social media, I got the opposite of like what like positive anything was supposed to look like, you know? And that's why I feel so passionately about like how young girls like see themselves like represented on social, like just see Black women in general represented on social media, because like I got exposed to like a lot of like sexual stuff when I was really young. And that's the reason why I should listen to my parents about not getting on social media.
Exactly.
Listen. And
There's no filters nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I agree so much with you, Michaela. I feel like we need to start, like, we have control of our, well, somewhat control of our algorithm. And so I feel like the people that we follow nowadays, like, need to be people that align with our values.
Exactly.
That align with our daily routines and things that we actually, like, want to pursue in our overall lives, you know? Because I think it has so much to do with, like, the way that you think about yourself. Because if you follow people who think about themselves positively, you're going to do the same, you know? Like, over the summer, I was really into, like, getting on my gym grind, you know? Like, y'all know Talia?
Yes, I follow
love
Talia.
her.
Yes. And I'm like, yes, that's what you need to see.
I'm saying, like, someone who is genuinely real about her own experiences. And so she, like, makes you feel comfortable in an online space that can, you know, like, sometimes make you feel like you're doing everything wrong.
Yes.
You know? And she's very real about, like, oh, I'm not feeling this way about my body. I'm, you know, like, I'm not doing this with my eating, but that's okay. You know, just, like, making, like, things, like, normal, like, normalizing, going through, having, like, my language, but a shitty week. Like,
Exactly.
So I just think like that's a way that we can definitely start like reshaping.
Really, no, literally.
Yeah,
yesterday I was
agree.
like rethinking about like what I was consuming as a child, and it was like a lot of like Quinn Blackwell, and I was like, oh, she was like, I saw this goofy black girl, and I'm like, oh, it's okay to be goofy, because like she's being, I'm assuming she was being herself, and like social media just felt so like. Mine was curated around that. Like, you can be funny and, you know, you can be pretty at the same time. You know, and you can be black.
Yeah, it's a representation thing, y'all.
Yes,
it's really about representation.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, did y'all watch like Larry? I feel like that also like fed into like the way I was brought up as well, like my humor. Just kind of like, I don't know, like, I think you're right. No, like,
I feel like social media has really switched over the years. Like,
it has.
our generation, it was perfect. Well, in most cases.
I feel like it was that YouTube era.
YouTube era. Yeah, I'm like, everyone was authentic.
Before the dopamine receptors.
Like, now it's like, fake this. I have to fit into this certain mold. And it's like,
nobody's real.
Yeah, no one is real. You don't know what's real, what's fake, what's AI.
Yeah. Not only that, but with the rise of TikTok, it's like one thing gets pushed to you, and it's so hard to stop seeing something if you like or engage with one video, which I also feel is like in some way damaging. But I will say with like the algorithm, I think it also you do have the opportunity to push those videos of more diverse types and the more
like
representation of Black girls, you know, so pros and cons.
Listen, okay, so my next question I feel like kind of relates to it, but can you describe a time when you had to take a step back from social media and what did it do for you, and or like how did it impact the way that you view your life now?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a social media girly. I love to post. I love being on social media. In a positive way, y'all. In a positive way. But for me personally, I've never like taken a full step back and like deleted Instagram. You know, people like they take those little fasts. I've never done that, but I will say, like I said before, I've definitely gone through at the beginning of every year. Actually, now I think about it, at the start of a new year, I always go through my following, see like what's positive, what's actually like helping me, what's feeding me on Instagram. That's what I will say. I'll go through and remove any person I feel like I'm comparing myself to, or they're just like negative energy or anything like that. I'll remove it. And then, like, for example, I love Pinterest. I don't know if you guys are Pinterest girls, but I feel like Pinterest is my main form of social media. Yes. So, like, I'll go on, like, breaks where I'm like, okay, I don't need to be on TikTok right now, or I don't need to be on Instagram right now, and I'm only going to go on Pinterest, because Pinterest is honestly, like, I would say it is a healthy form of social media. Like, I feel like I'm literally, like, manifesting my life through there. Like, it's literally, I feel like it's how would I describe it? As a digital... I don't know the way to put it, but I feel like it's like a digital vision board. I think that's the best way to put it.
I 100% get what you're saying with that, especially because I feel like it really comes to knowing yourself. When it is about taking a break from social media and figuring out what is healthy for me to consume, what is not. I also have never like taken a full stop. That's also because I manage a lot of social media pages, so I can delete it out. Listen. But even aside from that, I at least know, hey, like I'm very good about being intentional with, hey, what habits are good for me, what habits are not. And then also just being reflective. I know that for me, Instagram, not the greatest app for myself, can't lie. TikTok is fine for me. I don't find that much harm in anything I consume on TikTok. And I also don't find it that addictive. In the sense that, or at least, it's rare that I'm really, really doom scrolling. And then on top of that, I prefer the media that I consume on TikTok versus Instagram or like other apps. So I don't mind it as much, and I let myself have more leeway with that. But, you know, like screen time limit, stuff like that. And then also, I will say the biggest thing that has helped me just like have this mindset, but then also keep it up is keeping busy and having things, other things in your
important.
Life. One thing that I know I love to do is I love to crochet. Shout out in the loop. Shout out
promotion.
But I love to crochet, and one thing that I, at least anytime I'm trying to step away from social media, will do is I will get my little crochet and I'll sit in front of the TV, watch a show. Like even just watching shows, like things like that. Finding activities that you enjoy, also super, super important. And just, you know, making sure that you have that versatility. That you have that versatility in what you're spending your time doing, what you're feeding your mind. I think that that's really what's more important than quote unquote taking a break from social media, unless it's like for, you know, a specific issue. Because then that is a separate thing. And probably it's not just social media. You probably need other intervention to do other things. But, you know, just recognizing when social media isn't that positive addition to your life.
I think the best way to phrase what she just said is producing more than you're consuming. And I think that's what people need to focus on. Like, we're both, I feel like all of us are probably really busy girls. And I think that's important. Staying busy, having hobbies, like knowing yourself and finding things that you love outside of social media. Like how you said you don't doom scroll. I can find myself on TikTok doom scrolling a little bit. So I have to really think like, am I consuming more than I'm producing? And I need to rethink that. Like I need to be putting out more than I'm getting in. If that makes sense. Yeah, because I'm like, I can sit in here and watch 10 million videos about fixing my body, but if I'm not getting up and doing it, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. Like time is precious. And so I agree with everything you said.
I know for me, I'm chronically online because of my major. Just, you know, that's where I find my news. And the way that it's like, I kind of like level that out. It's like, oh, I can find a documentary that's about a topic that I'm looking into, or like I'll watch a show and find like something that's newsy today. So you know, that it is unhealthy being online, like on every social media platform, since that's what a lot of professors are pushing for. But just giving yourself a break in between, that's so important as a journalist, like extremely. I don't know if you go through the same thing.
I'm like, okay, so I have done like a few social media breaks. And I think it's just because I realized that social media is, it's fake. Like, I get so, like, sometimes I catch myself doom scrolling and I'm like, like, this is boring. Like, literally. It could be so funny and I'm just like, my mind is not, like, stimulated anymore. Like, I need something to stimulate me. And I think, like, overall, like, I just kind of made a schedule for myself. Like what I did is I found other things that I like to do. Like I love to go to the gym. So I would block time out of my day specifically to go to the gym. I'd block time to spend time with my friends. Like it's just certain things that you can start implementing in your life, and especially like implementing boundaries when it comes to social media and just like things in general. Like I think social media can just be so like bad for your mental health.
It's
like,
also about being present.
Yes.
You can be working out, hang out with friends, but if you're still like kind of like preoccupied elsewhere, you know, and it also makes it less satisfying later on when you are going to go and let yourself indulge in whatever media you're consuming.
You're just like, ugh. I did this earlier. Like I need something else to do. You know? And I don't know. I just think like overall, like what you said, like being present with your friends and just being present with people can just make your experience like overall just better.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like we lose the plot. Like a lot of times, our brain is always thinking about the future or the next thing that we need to do. I'm like, be in the present moment.
There.
Yeah, be mentally there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wraps up our episode.
Yes!
So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Her Campus, Her Voice, My Girl, My World. Thank you so much, Precious Pearls, Howard University chapter, for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having us.
We
Not us saying it at the same time. But yes, this was a great, I really love this talk, and I'm glad that you're pushing this out. So
yeah, this is more of the media that we need our
young
black girls.
Yes, black girls. Yes.